Dear Mother and Father, it is about my 9th month here in the Abbey, so I feel rather welcomed by now. No one mistakes me for Brother Theodore anymore. I'm sure my letters have given you many chuckles and laughs along the way. How is little Jeannie doing? I hope he feels well. With the longer winter we had, I wonder if he has recovered from the runny nose he always manages to get. Remember that time he sneezed onto that lady ahead of us? Well, life here has been picking up more and more with the summer months. We've planted a great deal. Feeding the members of the monastery requires a great sum of food, both grown and hunted. It being late in the 6th month, plowing has now ceased, as has planting. I was given the opportunity to plant and to plow, as you know, and it appears I have some skill at both. Wait a minute. I forgot. I realized something just now. Let me remedy that slight in a few sentences. You've never been to the Abbey, so let me describe it to you as best I can. The Abbey of Bitter Tea River is both tall and short, spired and square, straddling the Bitter Tea River within half a league and preceding mountains far in the distance. From the high window in its uppermost tower, intricate stonework emphasizing its rich history, to its vast wooden entrance, our abbey stands with open arms to all, a welcome sight against the lush wilderness around us. As you know, we have no neighbors. Those closest must travel days to reach us. But that is just the wall and the inner main edifice. To the rear of the abbey, connected directly to the outer walls and the main building, which houses the chapel, is a rather spacious cloister, as it is called. You can imagine a carved stone wall, wide enough for 2 wagons to travel abreast, shaped as a grand square. Built within said wall are 2 identical pathways of stone, one below at ground level and one above, carved so as to provide view to a great grassy flat within the safety of the wall. You could jump out the one side into the grass below, while the other side of that wall actually partitions the abbey from the outside world. That garden of green below is crisscrossed by gravel paths. Serene, open, full of sunshine, it is truly amazing. And another slice of tantalizing peace here, so far away from the busyness of less cultured life. But I will not give an entire accounting of the Abbey land, as that would be a chore. But no, there are outbuildings for bathing, cooking, stabling horses and other animals, and for even more purposes than mentioned here. I hope I do not bore you with these details, but I hope you would appreciate a sort of view. Without that description, you would have nothing to base what I say upon. I know there is nothing quite so grand around us back home compared with the Abbey. Well, repetition and constancy are the same. I pray unconnected with the others, and forego other meetings, all with the blessing of the abbot. By the way, Father Clam, as he is called, is doing rather well. As I was saying, like the usual, as I've told you before, all is the same. I forego meetings, and instead practice a skill, such as writing, or reading in the library. I am shocked by the sheer amount of volumes, books, works, and scrolls tucked away in the well-kept corners of vast reading rooms. Aside from this, and the regular tilling, farm work, or other hard labor we do on the regular basis, we share meals together. You see, now, as I have so thoroughly explained, tradition and the rules of regularity dictate the terms of our weeks, without fail. Only the unique, circumstantial events between individuals, or between nature outside in our abbey, give variety to the way it always goes. This monotony bores me to tears at times, but I have still much to uncover about this place, and that gives me hope. How funny it is, on that note, to consider just how relationships change once that brief time of understanding, that time when two individuals first meet, expires. Take the following story for an example. Just last week, Brother Ian was out leading his favorite horse to drink down at the river. Of course, his favorite horse, as you remember, is named Snickers. He considers it part of his daily penitence to walk the far distance and not access the spring we have directly by his stable. As I passed by to prepare water for blessing by Brother Clam, I yelled, "Hello to Brother Ian!" Brother Ian, I do not joke with you here, acted as if he would puke when he saw me, and he passed to the other side of his horse and out of my sight, without saying a word. I thought it entirely rude of him to start with, but then I remembered he had been struggling with this strange sickness since around the time I began to take Snickers out for riding in the forest. So you see, odd things happen, even if tradition does not allow the scheduling of such events. I now have one more odd tale to share before I part with you this time. Several days ago, as I slept in my cubby, I dreamt happily of times at home, I remember, running around with little Brendan and dear Lily. And as I slept, unbeknownst to me, a great thunderstorm had came up during the night, blowing in on a westerly wind from beyond the mountains, pushing along warm ocean air. As it bore down upon the abbey, I was awoken suddenly by a bright flash in the window, shocking me awake, and I heard a terrific screaming from outside. Well, I would call it screaming. It sounded more as if a pig got caught in a doorway while Brother Clam slammed it shut. A distressed sort of wailing, grunting, and crying out. Well, of course, I ran outside as fast as my short legs would carry me to see what was amiss. And there stood Brother Lankley, rather laying on the ground, with a fire iron stolen from the empty fireplace, sizzling to one side. Others joined me momentarily, and we gazed at the man, gargling and wheezing with some emotion, saying something like, "I've done it," over and over again. Ever since that night, he has acted even stranger than usual. Whenever I approach him, he always stares into my eyes, waves his hands around, and utters weird phrases. Here is a typical interaction between myself and Brother Lankley. "Brother Lankley, how was the morning prayer?" Brother Lankley responds with, "It was shockingly good, Brother Thanggood. Shockingly good. Everything was just pow, zap, terrific. Did I mention I was struck by lightning?" At this point, he twists his hands, riddled with putrid burn marks, only just healing over, into my face just a breath away from my nose. As you know, Mother and Father, I'm not exactly strong before bloody wounds, and it always sends, a shiver down my spine which settles into my stomach. Feeling lightheaded, I invariably slink away to my room, avoiding his questions about my health. Man, that guy's weird. So weird. Anyway. That is enough. As my hand cramps up, that and my parchment runs out. And I'm running low on ink. I hear we will be receiving a special visitor next week. Although I cannot guess who it could be. It may just be hearsay. Any visitor we get is news enough, but this guest seems rather unusual. At least regarding the amount of gossip that I've picked up about them. But that is all. Be safe. And with my love, William Famegood.